I am Bindu and welcome back. In this session, we are going to learn about types of chemical reactions from the lesson Chemical Reactions and Equations. Learning outcomes. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand about combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, oxidation, reduction. Keywords: chemical reaction, the process in which chemical change takes place. Elements, compounds. Exothermic, the reaction in which heat is released. Precipitate, insoluble substance formed during the reaction. Reactants, products. Before starting the session, let's look at the concept map. A large number of chemical reactions are taking place around us every day. Are they taking place in a similar way? No. Each reaction involves different kinds of atoms and hence the way they react also differs. Based on the manner by which the atoms of the reactants are rearranged, chemical reactions are classified into many types. During a chemical reaction, atoms of one element do not change into those of another element, nor do atoms disappear from the mixture or appear from elsewhere. Actually, chemical reactions involve the breaking and making of bonds between atoms to produce new substances. Types of reactions: combination reaction. Activity: take a small amount of calcium oxide or quicklime in a beaker. Slowly add water to this. Touch the beaker. Do you feel any change in the temperature? Calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to produce calcium hydroxide, releasing a large amount of heat. When two or more substances, elements or compounds combine to form a single product, the reactions are called combination reactions. Reactions in which heat is released along with the formation of products are called exothermic reactions. Burning of coal, natural gas and fuel are examples of exothermic reactions. Decomposition reaction. Activity: take about 2 grams ferrous sulfate crystals in a dry boiling tube. Note the color of the ferrous sulfate crystals. Heat the boiling tube over the flame of a burner or spirit lamp. Observe the color of the crystals after heating. ferrous sulfate crystals FeSO4 7H2O lose water when heated and the color of the crystals changes. It then decomposes to ferric oxide Fe2O3, sulfur dioxide SO2 and sulfur trioxide SO3. A single compound splits into two or more simpler substances under suitable conditions is called a decomposition reaction. Breaking of bonds is the major phenomenon in a decomposition reaction, and hence it requires energy to break the bonds. Displacement reaction. Activity. Take an iron nail and clean it by rubbing with sandpaper. Dip the iron nail in the copper sulfate solution taken in the beaker. Keep this set up for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, take out the iron nail from the copper sulfate solution. Compare the color of the iron nail after the reaction. The iron nail becomes brownish in color and the blue color of copper sulfate solution fades. In this reaction, iron has displaced or removed copper from copper sulfate solution. This reaction is known as displacement reaction. More reactive elements always displace less reactive elements. Double displacement reaction. Activity. Take about 3 ml of sodium sulfate solution in a test tube. In another test tube, take about 3 ml of barium chloride solution. Mix the two solutions. What do you observe? A white substance which is insoluble in water is formed. This insoluble substance formed is known as a precipitate. Any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called as precipitation reaction. The reactions in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called double displacement reactions. Oxidation. Activity. Heat a china dish containing about 1 gram copper powder. What do you observe? The surface of copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. Why has this black substance formed? This is because oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed. If a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. Such reactions are called oxidation reactions. Reduction. Activity. Heat a china dish containing about 1 gram copper powder. What do you observe? The surface of the copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, CuO, the black coating on the surface turns brown as the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained. During this reaction, the copper oxide is losing oxygen and is being reduced to copper. If a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. Such reactions are called reduction reaction. If both oxidation and reduction takes place in the same reaction, then it is called as redox reactions. Points to remember. In a combination reaction, two or more substances combine to form a new single substance. Decomposition reactions are opposite to combination reactions. In a decomposition reaction, a single substance decomposes to give two or more substances. Reactions in which heat is given out along with the products are called exothermic reactions. Reactions in which energy is absorbed are known as endothermic reactions. When an element displaces another element from its compound, a displacement reactions occur. Two different atoms or groups of atoms, ions, are exchanged in double displacement reactions. Precipitation reactions produce insoluble salts. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. Reduction is the loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen.